Hello, everybody. Brony22 with my reaction/review of Sherlock. Yep, I finally recorded some Sherlock after almost a month of not recording anything. And I gotta say, it's a pretty good, interesting way for sure to kick off the series, and still left a little bit of stuff to be figured out probably later. Now, there is one little thing, which I actually don't mind, I actually like about it, is the length of the episodes are quite long, the length of a full movie. And, I was a little bit worried about that at first, because I was like, how are they going to fill in this big gap? But I feel like they did it quite well. So the length of the episodes are not going to bother me as much. And so yeah, that's something I don't have to worry about anymore. Definitely looking forward to episode 2 when I get around to that. So let's actually talk about the episode itself. The main mystery in this episode, and I imagine a lot of the episodes are going to have their own interesting things to figure out, as well as possibly from the sounds of the end of the what happened near the end, an overlapping mystery to solve for this season, which I don't know how many episodes there are in this season. I know there's not that many, because I guess it takes a while to make, but I'm still looking forward to it. So, the first thing that I know is that the mystery in this episode was quite interesting to see them figure out, because people are apparently committing suicide, but actually they're not. They're actually being intentionally killed, or by the most unsuspecting person, a taxi driver, which is an interesting twist, because, who's going to suspect a taxi driver, and who's going to even recognize a taxi driver, I've ridden in a few taxis in the past, so that's definitely something to think about, but, yeah. I did like that little, twist. There was a point in the episode where they were doing this chase down someone in the taxi, but the person wasn't who they thought it was just some tourist. But in fact, it was the taxi driver in that very car that they were after. So, yeah. So a few things to talk about. Gonna go off a bit of a tangent. Just the way that Sherlock breaks things down. The way he thinks. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Just the way he thinks, the way he sees everything around him. It's neatly laid out. And when he first meets Watson, the way he broke that down to Watson himself later, I liked it. But, So then there's, so let's talk a little bit about Watson and what his deal is. He's a war vet, out of the war for a while. And what he really, really wants is, what he wants, but doesn't seem to think about it at first. I think that's what happens. Is that he has this bit of a tremble and he has a bum leg, which his therapist apparently thinks is psychosomatic, and Sherlock thinks it's not, but I guess we prove at the end that it was. And I guess from now on he probably won't need the cane anymore. Maybe he will, I don't know. But, the slight trembling he has like, that, like, was solved because he misses action, I guess. And now that he's back in action, I guess he'll be doing better. Now, this actually brings up a question. Like, everyone keeps saying that Sherlock doesn't have friends, and I'm wondering if Watson will become a friend. That's what I'm wondering about. So, let's see. So, yeah, Sherlock is portrayed by Benedict Cumberbatch, as you know, and if I remember the name correctly, I can't believe I forgot this already. Watson is played by Martin Freeman? Have to look it up, but I do recognize the actor from a few Marvel movies, and apparently I completely skipped my mind, but he also plays Bilbo Baggins in The Hobbit and a little bit of the Lord of the Rings things. So I don't know how I forgot about that. I've seen the Hobbit movies. Anyway, yeah, I definitely feel like overall an interesting episode, interesting twist. And let's talk about the ending of the episode. When it's revealed how these apparent suicides were actually a murder, it was, the cab driver, of course, and he was basically giving people 2 bottles to choose from. One of them had the cure, and one of them would kill them. And he would make them do it. He would point a gun at them, which is actually just a lighter, It wasn't real the whole time. But, yeah, man, that was super tense at the end. Sherlock, wondering if Sherlock's going to take it. Is he not going to take it? Is he going to win? And then Watson coming in last minute just to shoot him, kind of run away. But Sherlock does figure it out. It was him anyway, 'cause, of course he would. But yeah, man, that moment had me a little bit tense. I was like, okay, is he actually going to take it? No, he doesn't take it. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, he doesn't take it. But while the taxi driver is, dying, he reveals a name of someone who apparently was sponsoring him to do all these deaths, which, what the heck? So I imagine that's the thing we're going to be trying to figure out in the future. And, there's another little thing, this little rivalry with his brother, which Watson had an interesting encounter with earlier in the episode. Thinking it was some shady guy, but it was just a brother. They have a bit of a rivalry going on with each other. But, yeah, I think that's going to be pretty much it for this review. There'll be a link in the description below for you to watch my reaction. I hope that everybody enjoyed this episode. I know I had a lot of fun. Let me know what you all think, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.